Hello everybody, this is Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models. Okay fellas, I think I overshot my day. I was going to go ahead and make a video for this Friday or so. I got too ahead of myself. Reason being, I got a special gift this morning. The mail out here runs anywhere from 8:30 in the morning till about 9. Well, about 9 o'clock got here. I got a special box from one of my beloved subscribers and friends. And his name is Mr. M.F. Horn. I don't know what his first name is. I'm ashamed I should have got his first name so I could address him correctly. But Mr. M.F. Horn, you're one M.F. mean man, buddy. I love you, buddy. Thank you very much. He sent me today in the parcel Haze Gray. I've never heard of these people before. This stuff is good stuff. This stuff has the aroma of flocal coach colors. For all you old timers out there, like this old fud right here, knows those old railroad coach colors. I think they had turpentine in them or something. I don't know, some kind of mineral spirits, pretty much like turpentine. This stuff is not acrylic. I think you got to wash this out with a premium thinner. Probably I'll go ahead and use some mineral spirits. I got some good mineral spirits here. I haven't used in a long time since I can't find no more Model Master paints, and the Humbro paint variety is taking a dump. So therefore, all that's left was all acrylic stuff out there. And thank you very much, Mo buddy. I used this already, and it came out real good, as you can see behind me. I spent 4.5 hours. I just got done finishing painting up this hull of this haze gray. There's a lot of this stuff goes a long ways. It really does. This stuff, the coverage and stuff is beautiful. It goes on a lot better than Mission paints. Mission paints is good too. This stuff has good coverage, really good. But this stuff here, I think it's better. And I compared the colors with Mission paints. It's pretty much right on, but there's a little difference, I can tell. So it has a little more bluer in it. But this stuff is pretty good. More like a little more blue pigments in it. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I've already tried it. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. And he must have ordered this from somebody, you know, I don't know. And thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. God bless you. Okay, this year's coming up pretty good for me after all. Come out with a Trumpeter 1/200 scale Iowa class battle wagon, USS Iowa. Okay. Well, Frankie Day's been on this thing. Now, you remember on video 2, video 3 is when I was, well, I had the hull completely, it was belly up, completely primed and everything. And I had that Tamiya tape I put on there. Well, like I said, last thing I pulled off on this thing is that Tamiya tape. And that's what filled the bill. I have a perfect boot topping on here. You don't have to worry about putting tape on there. You don't have to worry about taping the bottom of the anti-fouling and going back up and tape and run another tape. Then paint over again. Mask once, not twice. It's almost like cutting. And I got some good tonal range on here too, which looks good. Now, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and start painting these decks. With a deck set 55, remember yesterday? Deck's already gave a light prime of light gray yesterday. A uniform gray. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply this. I'm going to let it dry. Then I'll give it a good gloss coat of clear polyurethane. And when it dries real nice and hard, probably be by tomorrow, I'll go ahead and start staining the decks with deck blue. Then I'll go out. So next step, after the decks are all completely painted and everything, and stained, next move is like follow the sequence of the instructions. Make the breakout of the parts for every step you got. Right here, I'm gonna be on this step next. So all these parts call outs, all these M parts and stuff like that, got to be taken out. I got a nice cardboard disc behind me, or right in front of me somewhere around here. I got a bunch, and I'm gonna put double-sided tape on, and I'm gonna tape all those on there. I'm gonna start painting them up with an airbrush, and when they dry, just rotate through the back and the side. And when it dries, go ahead and start fitting up the deck, and you work aft. After I go aft, that'll be step 11, I believe. Continuation of the forecastle, chain stops. I'll be at this next. I might be on that probably by tomorrow, maybe. So after this is pretty good, the sequence of this instructions here. There's a lot of parts. Let's call up a lot of parts, guys. You got photo etch that goes in here too, so you got to pay special attention to that too. They got to be glued in for you before you prime and paint them. If fitting on the Carly folks, it's gonna be no problem. Then you got the 40 millimeters, the buffers, and the 20 millimeters, and you got the pulpit that goes on the bow right here. Same thing after, you got all the vents, seaplane catapults, seaplane, crane, the bulpers, the 40 millimeters, and so on. Boat boom. Then the good stuff comes on the superstructure, and guess what? You work your way up. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. My goal is get this whole thing done. The hardest part of this thing to me, it's done. It's the work on here I did already. I'm going to take this camera. I'm going to take a close up of from bow to stem, from stem to stern, I should say, and we'll go from there. I get that dang. I got this camera mounted, guys, to a that's the bow. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna do a little review job here. By painting that whole black, all the way from the boot topping to the freeboard was black, because I love those tones. I haven't got the screws on. I don't want to put them on yet, because this thing is so big, I don't want these screws to get busted. I'll probably put those on after I have the deck done on there. Now, this is like a black. What I did, this black on here, some references say it's gray. It probably was one time. Then it went to black. The Navy's always fooling around. One minute it could be this color, one minute it could be another color. And it depends on what campaign. The chalking of, because you got all these people in think tanks, all these militarists in think tanks. You think of all these measures and color codes. what to use, what to chalk the background of where the environment or where the sea is at, especially in the islands and things. You got islands, a lot of palm trees like that. Then you got kind of splinter camouflage kind of. This here is measure 32. Now this thing here went to at least four or five paint schedules since it was laid. When it was laid keel and launched, it was all haze gray until they decided where they wanted to put it. Earlier, spring of 1943, it didn't have no tea-stained decks. It was natural wood deck. But it had dark sea blue alongside the hull, with the white haze gray separation from the turret one up to the pulpit. And on the camouflage, it shows you like it's airbrush or bristle painted over. The option is yours. I'm gonna leave it like this it is too. After I add immersion of rust and a little bit of white salt on it like that, it'll feather it out. It is chipped out pretty well. Get a little closer so you can see it. You can see the splintering of it. But that's how I see paint now. What you can do with a stiff brush, you can drag a couple real thin. That's what I'll be doing. I'm going to take a strip of brush and make sure that the brushes are not all togetherness. That'll give you a one easy uniform paint. It's got like a stipple brush, all like this one here. This is my Nixon brush here. A brush like this. Then you just kind of make real small fine streaks that could bring it in. Me, I'm going to leave it like it is. Because eventually it was all one color one time, then it started splintering. Then you probably had the second and first division over the side, repainting it and stuff like this and everything else. And so the option is yours. I will add rust this thing. Same thing is done on the port side, starboard side. Excuse me, fellas. Deck fits on very, very well. After I get this thing deck stained and painted tan, and go ahead and put the stain on it, and all those other parts I got that fit the deck tonight, after I stain this deck and apply my clear lacquer to seal it in there so it'll dry, I'm gonna go ahead and make breakouts for all those little small fine parts I showed you on the instructions, and get them prepared and get them ready to install once the deck is done. I have this deck done tonight, and what I'll go ahead and do is, this is my new this is my camcorder. It's about time I use this damn thing, and I'll make some shots on the put up my files. And use this camera here again and take a look at my stills and everything. So a model like this should be able to have a lot more better video done to it. Last night, today actually, I went ahead and gave a gloss coat of a polyurethane. That stuff dries very fast. Took it outside. I let it dry a couple hours and I went ahead and hit it with some Tetris dull coat. As I was saying, you can paint your hull black, then you can control it by using either white, or you can use light gray. But using that haze gray right there against that black, it kind of brought it in just right, like the way I like it. Some fellows use that Model Masters French blue. I don't know. It looks pretty close. A lot of stuff though, but I've got a Federalist color chart chip book that I've got. I always use that, and like I say, there's a lot of good reference. I use like by Schneider's Camouflage colors. I think they're from the United Kingdom, and they got a very good variety of military colors and everything. But this stuff here that I got from Mr. M.F. Horn, it's the bomb. This is bad stuff. I'm convinced, and God love you, sir. Thank you very much for this. Makes that thing look nice. And for this here, I'll go ahead and hit it with some uniform gray. Then paint that structures too. What I like about this comes off right here. This comes off from here. This comes off from the deck. So assembly-wise, you can have great for painting. Great for painting. You know what I'm going to do? You guessed it, guys. I'm going to paint that black. Turn this upside down first. And paint the side. Airbrush the sides black. Pull it upside there. And paint your deck tan. That's what first through. I will go ahead and prime all this first. I turn the superstructures upside down because you don't want that black paint to get on there. And so you gotta learn how to work an aerosol can or an airbrush. Turn it upside down. But for best measure anyway, go ahead and put tape on there. Just to make sure that you don't get no black paint on there. Because you need that black paint to get your tones like I got right here, as you can see. Okay, we'll bring the video back to me. It's almost getting half an hour time for this thing here. And that's the conclusion of that, of the Trumpeter 1/200 scale USS Iowa. You know, when I got these paint this morning, I had to go. You know, when I got here at 9 o'clock in the morning, I threw a couple cups of coffee on me. I went outside, laid it on top of a cardboard box, and I did I did the airbrushing in here. But I went outside and took the hole out there and gave it a coat of polyurethane on there, varnish, to seal that paint. Then I went up there and grabbed that dull coat got there. Little small cans they got. They're chancy. I tell you, I had about 3 or 4 of them just for this. Dull out. Because I'm going to be doing some weathering on this. I'm not going to get nuts on it, though. I'm just going to go ahead and in the most conspicuous places. But this stuff here is wonderful. Next venture, just add this and stain the deck. I'm ready to go. Ready for ship's company. Mustard and arms. Okay, this is it for the Iowa. This is it for me. And anybody's got the Iowa that they're building right now, I've been following this gentleman's video for a while, Mr. Ron Calvary. He hails from Winnipeg, Canada, and he's very meticulous how he builds his models. You know, he's like me. Him and I got a lot in common. You know, he lost his wife, I lost mine, and all he has left is God's good humor and his home, his life, and like me. and models ships, and he does a very good job on it. And right now he's a little ahead of me. He's way ahead of me. So I can be no foot race on this. So anybody who like to follow his video, he does a good job. He's almost like Gary Brickler in a way. He's really in depth on his description of the ship, and he ventures off a lot of things, you know, which is wonderful. And like I say, he does a good job. So anybody's building in Iowa, follow him. He does a good job. And like it says in the Bible, beguile no man. Don't let the man beguile you. But just when it comes to stuff like this, you always got to have somebody to follow, you know. I've been watching his build very much. And he's doing a wonderful job on his. Okay. Let me see. Oh yeah, a little shout out to old Charlie Mack. I saw his video yesterday. He went to the Jawbreaker and had his tooth pulled yesterday morning. Oh, he said he had a hell of a toothache. You know, I know what toothache feels like, guys. I lost mine because my mother. You know, I never told anybody this. That's kind of funny how one subject can lead to another. And my mom had Alzheimer's disease. I think she was 100. And she didn't know who I was. She was a stout old woman. And I was married to Ruthie at the time, my wife, who just passed away. And I went over to the house. Bruce says, "Why don't you go over there and take care of your mom and see how she's doing and everything like that? Because I don't want my mother going on nursing home." And we had her own home there. She had her own home and everything. I went over there and took care of her. She had people come over there taking care of her. And she didn't know who I was. She didn't like me at all. So what I did one day, I told Ruthie, says, "Oh, we doing? I'm going to stay overnight with Mom's house and take care of her. She's kind of restless tonight." And she says, "Okay." So, you know what my mom did? I fell asleep on the couch. She took a 6-inch iron skillet. You guessed it. Bingo! Right across the mush. Took out all my teeth. I had to go to the VA. Pumped me with sodium pentothal, knocked out, pulled all my teeth out. I was hurting pretty bad for a while. I know what a toothache feels like, and I'm glad that Charlie Mack got that taken care of. Because like I say, a toothache like that, teeth like that can kill you. People don't understand stuff like that, but it can. Okay, I hit enough of that, guys. Just something just comes to mind. You know, you get old. You know, a lot of things pop in and out. So that's another gift of old age you get. It's just something that happens in life, guys. Okay, is it for me? Is it for the Iowa? Tomorrow we'll shoot for another video for the decks and everything. You'll like that. And after that, we'll give a couple days or so for the next video. There'll be a lot of videos in this bad boy. It's a big ship. A lot of parts. I think it calls for 1,500 parts or so. Yep, every bit of that. Okay, this is Frankie Day Models. Frankie Day Models signing off. Take care of Mama San. Take care of the little babies. Stay focused when you drive. Spend wisely. Get yourself a kit. God's been good to us. Old Man Winter's kind of turned the cheek for a while. I got a feeling he's blowing some cold wind this way. Probably next week we'll probably get some snow coming in. Something's going to happen. Something big's going to hit pretty soon. This is January. This is snow weather. And so far we're getting out of spring weather right now. Getting out of winter weather. Okay, I'm gone, guys. I got work to do in this bad boy. We'll catch you tomorrow for sure on video 5. That'll be on the finishing of the decks. And turn 2 ships work. I'm out here. God bless you guys. This is Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models signing off. God bless you guys. Love you, fellas. Take care.